Hello, hello. Let me trying to reconnect. Am I going in and out? Let me know how the connection is, guys. Let me know if all is well. Okay. So, we are going to paint these ornaments. So, as I said in my post, let me take this off, I'm hot. This piece here, this is the piece that is the gift card holder. So if you want to use it as a gift card holder, then you want to put that part in the ornament. If you just want it as an ornament, then you're not going to put this in at all. I, however, am going to make these ornament holders, so I'm going to leave mine in. Or I mean, gift card holders. Lord, it's been a long day, guys. Okay, as I'm going, if there's anything that you want to know or see again, or just understand better, or you can't see it, or whatever it is, drop it below, because that's what I'm here for, is to teach y'all. So, let me know if you have any questions about anything. I meant to mention, like, a long time ago, and I never got to, but, if you're looking for like a cheap and inexpensive way to paint on something, I use foil. And I've never really said that to y'all, but I just want you to know, I use paint on foil, and that way when you're done, you can just wad it up and pitch it, and it's super cheap, and you get a lot of it. So, instead of wasting paper plates or whatever, foil is the way to go. Okay. I'm gonna start with the tree one. So, the outside of this is going to go sit on top of it, and this is going to be stained, which you should have gotten with your box. I am going to keep mine very neutral and simple just because I like that style, but if you want to go more detailed and more traditional, then more power to you. So for the stain, I always use a sponge unless it's like a door hanger. If it's a door hanger, then I'll take the stain, and I usually just go and then wipe with a paper towel. I feel like that's the best way to get it like a smooth stain for a door hanger. But little pieces like this, definitely a sponge. I'm leaving all my tags raw wood. I told you all I'm going super neutral. I do want to say though, like when you have pieces that have this little engraving on it and you want to be able to see it through, do not use a brush, because a brush is going to get paint down in the cracks, and then you're going to be trying to dig it out, or you're going to try to paint over it with a paint marker, and it just gets super sloppy. So when I have words like this, I just dip in my paint, dab off, and then just real lightly with paint, and then it shows right through, and you don't have paint in there or anything else. So just so you know, for any future projects, if you have words, use the sponge, not a paintbrush. Okay, these trees I'm going to do like a darker green. It's like a real pretty, I don't even know the name of it because it's from Home Depot, but I'm going to use a sponge for this too. But this is a good, like, so see how those little dots just show right through without any paint getting in them? Same thing with words. Super duper easy. I was hoping that more of you would join me this way versus, I know some people get a little, like, timid to joining a Zoom just because you can see yourself, and other people can. So hopefully this way might be a little better for people to hop on and not feel so much pressure. I just want you all to like be able to learn and ask questions if you need to. Okay. Voila. So we're going to let that dry. I'm leaving my tag raw, and I'm leaving this ornament part raw, which I know is probably not going to be for everybody, but I want to keep it super neutral because the person that I'm using this for is very neutral. So, okay, that's it for that one. I'm going to move on to Mrs. Claus. And again, tag is going to be raw wood. Her little face, we're going to use the raw wood for her face as like a peachy color. And then I need red. So, and just so you know, if you're ever looking for a really good red, my absolute all-time favorite red is called Firecracker Red from Home Depot, and you can just get a little sample and put it in a bottle or even leave it in a sample, whatever. But it is the best red, because sometimes if you buy the little bottles, it can be like pinky and not so much red. Also, if later on you're watching this and you're watching the replay and it's not live, if you could hashtag replay below, that just helps keep it up in the feed so that other people can see it. Okay. Red, we're going to do for her little bow. Her hair is white. I spray paint all my white ahead of time because I've had this talk with y'all before if you've ever been on a Zoom, but it's hard to get really crisp white paint. So if I can spray paint white, I do, because I mean it is crisp. I know everyone doesn't always have the option to spray paint, but if you do, that's definitely the way to go. It's so crisp and clean. I just love it. So her hair's white. Her little hairpiece and her collar are going to be red, and then her little glass is black. So let's do the red first. And again, just another sponge, dipping it in. And when I dip in paint, I always dab off like on another part of the foil, because less paint is more. I don't like my paint to drip down the sides, so I usually I'll make a second coat before I put a lot of paint on. But this red has great coverage, so I usually don't have to do too much. Okay. I need to go back. I can't see comments from here to there. That's how bad my eyesight is. So, am I missing any comments? Red and white seem to be my issue colors. Yeah. It seems, when I do paint parties, that seems to be like everybody's. So, obviously, I can't spray paint at paint parties, so I just use, I use a gallon of white house paint, but obviously I go through way more white than you guys do. So, if I had to recommend white, it seems like the Deco Art white is a little bit better in the bottles than like the Apple Barrel from Walmart. But either way, it just takes multiple coats in order to get that crisp white. Okay, I'm going her glasses black with a sponge. And red, again, Firecracker Red from Home Depot. It's my favorite. I've used it from the beginning, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so on her face, she looks kind of weird with nothing painted on there, but the little eyebrows, I'm gonna take a paint marker, a small one, and color in white her eyebrows. But if you have a paintbrush with a real fine point, then you'll use that on this part. I love Posca pens. I've used paint markers from Walmart and several other places, but Posca pens are my favorite. And they are a tad bit pricey, but they last a good long while. Okay, so there she still looks kind of funny, but she'll come together. Okay, so now those pieces are painted, I'm going to set them aside, and then we'll just come back at the end and glue everything. So, leaving the background raw on that too. Let's do the snowflake. So, snowflake is white. Let me keep my stuff organized here, so when I go to glue these together, Okay, snowflake piece. Raw tag. I need to make sure I'm getting the right tags with the right, yeah, I am. Okay, this half piece here, we're gonna paint, I'm gonna paint black. Obviously you can paint these however you want, but I'm gonna paint this part black, and I know it's gonna go over those little dots, but don't worry. We're gonna paint those in once this black dries. So even on this black piece, I'm taking it and using a sponge. Sometimes I'll take the sponge and like swipe it just to get a full coat on, and then I'll go back and dab just to make it like a good solid black. But it just leaves, the sponge just leaves such a good coverage. It's like smooth and no paint down the sides. Crisp, clean lines. Okay, so we're gonna set that aside because we have to go back to that, but we're gonna let the black dry. Next one, let's do the reindeer. Okay, so Mr. Reindeer, we're gonna set the ornament and the tag aside. And obviously his nose is gonna be red because he's Rudolph. So dab our sponge on there. I'm gonna do this little scarf green. Same green I had out earlier. It's like a darker green, not so much a traditional green, but if you're more traditional and you like the brighter green, then go for it. I love to see if anyone paints these different. Okay, so now we're gonna do stain on his head part, but we're gonna not do the antlers with the stain. We're gonna do the antlers with brown paint. So now I take my sponge, and if I need a rounded edge, I'll squeeze it and see how it gives it like more of a rounded shape, and that's how I make like a rounded, or if I need to make a straight line, I kind of just pinch and form my sponge to what I want it to do. I use sponges all day. I'm pretty good with the sponge, but see how I never even had to pick up a brush? Okay, so now we're going to take a darker brown. Let me find one. Uh-oh. My go-to brown ain't here. Hold on a second. Melted chocolate. I love this brown. It's a good brown if you're looking for a good one. Melted chocolate, and it's Apple Barrel from Walmart. Melted chocolate. So I'm going to take another sponge, and again on these sponges, I have a whole drawer here. When I'm done with them, I just clip the end off, and then I keep using them. See how little that thing is? And I have a little pocket here that I just pull out of, and I try to use them. I'll probably use them like down to there, but that's about it, because I don't want my hands covered in paint more than they already are. But you can get a decent amount of uses from some sponges just by cutting them down, just in case you did not know that. Alright, so again, I'm just using my sponge, and like I'll lift it up and use the tip if I need to get into like a smaller spot. But pretty quick. I notice a lot of times, like even when I do my paint parties, people tend to use the brush just because that's what we all grew up using. But if you can get comfortable with the sponges and working them, it's much, much easier. Okay. So there he is, and we're gonna let that dry for a minute, and then I'm gonna paint the inside of his ears a lighter brown, but we'll let him dry. Okay, let's do Sandy. Okay, I'm gonna put the ornament and the tag to the side here. I'm so thirsty tonight. We're going to use the raw wood for his face as a skin color. Again, if you want to use a peach color or whatever you want to use, it's up to you. But trying to figure out how this lays out real quick before I paint more than I need to. Okay, so his beard goes almost all the way up to, make sure I'm not missing any pieces. The beard goes all the way up to like the top of his nose. There's just a little bit showing. And then the brim sits on top of the beard piece. So we're gonna paint just this top part red for his hat. You kind of just gotta eyeball it. Hopefully I don't go down too far. There we go. So just above his eyebrows. I'm gonna again use a paint marker, or you can use a fine point brush for his eyebrows. And we're gonna put a little tiny bit of pink in his. I'm not seeing. I can't see anything. I really hope I'm in the right spot. If I'm on my regular page, that would be a nightmare. But it looks like I am in the right spot, but hold on. I'm a little worried. But I think more people would have told me I was in the wrong spot if I was. Okay. Yeah, I am. Okay, in with the eyebrows. And they make like 3 different size Posca pens. But I use, I don't know if you can see that. Here's my thin one that I use, and this is a 3M. And then this is the other one. I only use in 2 sizes, and that's the big one I use, and that's a 5M. I have some of the really smaller ones, but they are hard to work with, so I just use these 2 sizes. And I order mine off of Amazon if you're, they have them at craft stores, but I feel like Amazon's a better price. Okay. There's his eyebrows. He looks kind of funny, doesn't he? Okay, we're going to put a little bit of pink on his nose, like a real soft pink. You'll probably need a little fine pointed brush for this because it's pretty small. Or what I do a lot too, which I'll probably do now, is I use the back of the brush. So I'm going to dip the back in, and then sometimes it just helps you control and make a circle better than even the brush does. Okay, his nose is painted, and then just wipe it off with a wet wipe or a paper towel. Okay, we're gonna let Sandy's face dry before we go back to him. We got lots going on here. Trying to do a little bit of all of them at the same time, and then come back with the details. Okay, last one, snowman. I'm gonna put the ornament and the tag to the side. My whole snowman is white, and I'm just gonna paint over his gloves and then paint in the buttons. So that's the beauty of spray paint too. A lot of times you can paint over it as long as it's little. Obviously, if it's a big spray painted piece, you're not going to be able to, but a little piece like this, it won't hurt. Okay, I'm going to give him a red scarf. I'm going to put a little bit of orange on his nose, but I'm not sure what color I should do his gloves. I'm going to do a darker orange for his nose, just keeping with the whole neutral vibe here. Again, if you like bright colors, more power to you. I like bright colors better too, but the person that I'm giving these to does not. Okay, I guess I'm just going to do matching red gloves, match with a scarf. The glue that you use, is that just super glue, just in case no. Well, I guess it is a form, but here's what it looks like in a bottle. I know the writing will be backwards to you, but it's called Stick Fast. I use the medium. They make thin and thick, which I've used thick too. So medium or thick, I just prefer the medium. And I'm assuming it's a type of stick or a super glue, but I mean, this stuff is good. I've been using this for 6 years and I swear by this stuff. I'm sure you guys have seen that. It's no joke. So you can get it off of Amazon. And that little bottle will last you, we go through a bottle in 2 days, each of us. So we go through a lot, but a bottle like that would last you a long time. Especially since I send glue with you too. You're welcome, Susan. All right. Red gloves, and I'm just gonna sponge it over the white. Turn my volume down. I keep hearing my echo of my own voice. Okay, I put it on there kind of thick to go over that spray paint, so I'm gonna do the little black dots. Now on this part, when you have dots that are that little, like his mouth, I'm gonna find a small paintbrush. Like, see how the end of that is pretty small? I'm gonna use the end of this. And it just is like, boom, boom. Even a paint marker probably would be bigger than these little dots. They're pretty tiny. I mean, really, you could leave it without even coloring it in, but I just think it would look cuter. Now, the actual circles, I'm just going to use my smaller Posca pen, or you can use the end of a brush or the tip of a thinner brush. The thing I like about these paint markers is it gives you just so much preciseness and control. So it leaves it clean looking. Okay. All the pieces are now, we just need to go back to the ones that we need to revisit. Okay, so we're going to go back to Mrs. Claus, and I am going to put some little polka dots on her collar. So I'm just going to take a little white paint. And put a few, I'm going to dab off because I want these to be pretty small. Now if you want small, just don't push down as much. You control the size of your polka dots by how much pressure you push down. Okay, I'll show you the size. Hopefully I don't mess it up. Little polka dots on our collar. We need to go back to our snowflake piece, and those little dots that were engraved on it, we're going to do the same thing, white little dots. Use the same little brush. If you don't like the shape of your dot, then just get more paint and push down on it again, and it'll just widen around the previous one and clean it up. Let's see, just want to make sure, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm sure half of y'all are probably pros by now. I ended up turning that fan down for a minute. Couldn't hear myself, I think. Okay, if you don't like your dot, baby wipes fixes everything. Okay, I gotta go back on that one. I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. Okay, now we're going to the reindeer ears. I like this color called khaki, and it's from Walmart also, Apple Barrel. I feel like I used pretty much the same colors over and over and over again. Now for this, for an odd shape that's not a circle, I will use a thinner pointed brush. You could use the end, but I feel like for not a circle, it's easier just to use a fine brush. And I'll usually do one coat, let it dry, and then I'll go back. Just because when you paint with a brush, a lot of times it leaves lines in the paint, and I do not like that. Just a preference of my own. I like to keep clean lines, y'all know this. It's gotta look clean. It's all in the details. Okay, so there he is with the little ears painted in. I guess we should probably take the back of our brush and paint his eyes black. Okay, we're gonna let him dry. I'm gonna go back to my snowflake piece because I didn't like that one dot I did. Okay. Oh. Sometimes you just gotta leave it alone. Sometimes if you go back, you end up messing it up more. So I'm just leaving that. Okay. So on the Christmas tree one, we are done with everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and start assembling this. And I believe we need to add a bead and a bow too. So where are my beads? Hold on a second. I need to get my beads out. Okay, so this part too, I, again, am leaving mine raw with the whole neutral thing, but I wanted to show you guys something you could do if you wanted to paint them, or how I paint them. I use, because when we do them, we do a lot at a time, and usually a garland. I use a kebab stick, but if you don't have these, not everybody has those. You can use the end of a paintbrush, and then you'll just dip your sponge in paint, and all the way around. So, little tip there. Okay, when you're gluing these down, you want to make sure that your top is straight up and down, because you don't want your thing to be hanging crooked. So I'm going to start with the gift card holder part. And of course my bottle's almost out of glue. And again, just eyeball it straight up and down. Okay. Then make sure your bottom's lined up good. And your sides. And then on this part, it would probably be better just to glue on this part, so you don't get glue right here where you don't need it. So we're going to sit that on top of there. Sometimes you got to be careful when you push down on that glue, because it wants to slip and slide. Okay, we got the green trees first, and it's going to hang off a little bit off of the ornament, just so you know. I mean, I guess you could not hang it off, and then the top would just stick up more. Whatever floats your boat. Okay, so you got that down, and then we're going to put a little glue on the frame. Glue's being stubborn. Okay. Lay that down on there. This time, when you get this frame on, you don't really want to move it any, because that glue will leave a little mark when it dries if it's not completely less movement is better. So I always like hover over and make sure that it's like, and then I press down. Okay, I'm gonna put some oil back. And I believe on this one, is it a black? So there was four red blows, 2 black and white. So I think this is a black and white. So we're gonna get that ready. It's nice that these are already pre-made. I wasn't gonna torture you guys with trying to make your own bows. You guys would have been like, seriously? So you're welcome. Alright. Let me get these put away. Alright. Now on this part, you're going to take your string. I always like to make sure it's even. Take your loop, you're going to go through the back, and then just lay it like that with the loop. Then I get my bow and I lay it on there. Get it all center. Then I take it through the loop. Oh, don't get your little bow stuck in there. And then just pull it tight. Now, I stick my bead through there. And then you don't have to, you can just tie it at the end at this point. But I like to put a little knot over my bead just to keep the bead down and the bow down, because I don't want anything to come apart on someone that has bought it. So I put a little knot at the top of the bead, and then a little knot at the end, and then I'll cut off if it's uneven at the end. I like to make it the strings even. Oh, I forgot the tag. Alright. Ixnay that. Okay, we're cutting that off. Redo. Alright. Well, at least I'm doing it so y'all can learn and save yourself the troubles. Let me pull this up, make sure. Okay. Try this again. So, I'm kind of wondering on this. I don't even know that we're going to be able to get the string through. I don't know. Hold on. Let me mess around with this. It's just hard to get the string through the tag and the ribbon. We may have to just glue it down to where it looks like it's tied. Or, let me think about this for a minute. Does the bow cover? Let's see. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this, because I really don't even think the double jute can get through this hole. I think I'm just going to glue it to look like a tag, because I think the bow is going to get, it's going to cover it like the top part anyways. So that's what I'm going to do. If you want to string it up, you could put a string through it and tie it around the thing, but I don't think I'm going to do that, because I think I'm just going to put some glue on it. You don't really have to glue the whole thing because it's going to hang off. The other thing you want to be careful with this tag is you want to be able to still slide a gift card through there. So don't put it too low to where you can't get the gift card through. So put it like at an angle. I'll show you guys when we get going, when I get this on. I cut that string off for no reason at all. Okay, so I might try something. I'm still not liking the way it's looking. I'm gonna try a single string. Bear with me, guys. I'm at this point. Now I got glue on the back because I decided to try and glue it, but I think I might. Yeah, I think I might have a solution. Hold on. I'm trying to put my knot around back so you don't see it. That's easier said than done. So I took a little piece of string and just put one hole through each side, and then went through the ornament hole and then just tied a knot around the back. See what that looks like. Okay, there we go. But now you almost need a little dot of glue just to keep it hanging to the side. Okay, so if you can see what I did here, I know the words are back, but it almost needs a little dot of glue just to hang sideways. But I took a little string, went through the hole of the ornament, and then just tied it around back here. If you want to glue yours down or do some other fancy way, then you let us know, because it's giving me the runaround. I'm going to glue that part down, because I don't want it to keep swinging down where the gift card is. Okay, let's leave that lay there. Okay, Mrs. Claus. I got paint all over my glue bottle. A mess over here. Okay, lining our gift card piece up first. Man, come on. This one's almost empty too. There we go. Leave that lay on its side. Okay, then this piece. I wonder. Hold on a second. I'm realizing there's one that's a little smaller than the others. There we go. Kind of mixed up. Okay, now we gotta put Mrs. Claus together. Look at the... Okay, we're gonna put her little collar at the very bottom and just work our way from the bottom up. Come on, glue. Don't do this to me. Make sure you're straight up and down from the top. And then we'll sit her head in there. And the top sticks over the top, so you only need glue from like the middle down. We're going to put on her hair. Let's see if I can't find some different glue. Got leftover glue bottles from a paint party. Let's see if I got enough glue on one of these. Okay. Started messing around with that. Okay, you want to go just above her eyebrows. And then when you put her glasses on, they're going to go below her eyes. Like she's got them sitting on the end of her nose. Cute. And this is her hair piece. And it's just going to go right under the top little bun. Okay. Make sure I got all those pieces. Okay, we're going to use the red bow for her. So, you not forget the tag this time. And a bead. Got all the things. Bow laying flat. You know what else would be cute with these two is if you had beads that were already decorated. I know I had to order some for my ornament bar, but they make some with like stripes and snowflakes on them on Amazon. And they would be so cute on these. Okay, now we got that on. We're going to figure out this tag. A little piece of string. I'm going to go through the top, and then tie around back. Now I wouldn't worry about adding glue until you got the thing tied. So that's a feat in itself. I give her a little double knot, and then clip the end off. Okay, now put a little glue dot so it lays sideways. And you're going to probably want to put something heavy on this if you don't have a clamp, because it keeps wanting to move when it's trying to dry the glue. So, there's that. She's cute. Claus. That's cute. Okay, snowflake. Same thing, straight up and down. 3. Why do you need something? Okay, then your black piece goes on to actually do this piece. I already said that, but I don't want to get more glue on there than you need.
Those are cute.
Huh?
Those are cute.
Thank you. They're little gift card holders. You stick a little gift card down in there.
Can I put the comment reader? On there?
I don't have it on there. And it's not on my regular page. Okay, so I think I'm trying to think of this. You don't want to cover up any of the dots. So you're really just gluing. Don't knock that over.
And I was trying to see the comment.
And trying to make sure it's.
There we go.
My daughter muted me.
Hey,
Show
don't
your
blame
face.
it on me.
Show your face. You're the
No.
culprit. Thank you for letting me know I've been talking away.
At least I was reading the comments.
Yeah. You walk out of here and I've been muted the whole time because I'm deep into holding this, getting this tag on. Okay. Once you get routine, it's not bad. It's just a matter of figuring it out. It's half the battle. Okay. Now, little blue dot under the tag.
Gosh, I wonder if I can hear.
A little, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? There's no mute button, it doesn't show mute.
Yeah, but then it still says yes.
Okay. Here's the snowflake one. Isn't that cute? I know y'all can't see with that little clamp on there, but I like the snowflake. I like black and white though. Okay, what do we got left? Rudy. Let me try.
Yep.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
What's it called? Like when you double
Technical difficulties? I'm having technical difficulties right now.
Why?
Because I think there's one piece that's smaller than the rest.
What?
Trying to make sure. Okay. Here we go with Rudy.
Rudy?
Rudolph.
Rudolph? Is this Santa?
Yeah, it's gonna be. He doesn't. It doesn't look like Santa.
Look like
Doesn't look like Santa right now, does he?
No.
Don't touch the pink. It was still wet.
The white makes the white beard makes it look like.
Yeah. I mean, what's Santa without his beard? Okay, let's assemble our reindeer. Oh, the little ball man. Put his little scarf on. Should we put anything on his scarf or just leave it plain green? Highlights?
I think you should get like red polka dots. Or red stripes.
No, they're supposed to be manly.
And then you should do red stripes.
I don't know about that because then it'll get messy.
What? I think that'll be cute.
Okay, there he is put together. He's cute.
Man.
He's a cutie. Whoa. Alright. Oh, I don't know why I was going with that tag.
Well, do you smell like vinegar?
Yeah, I think they clean them with vinegar, like after they mill them. Okay. Let's see what color. I'm gonna assume this.
What time did July start?
I don't know. I haven't been. Oh, 7:30. Oh, it's already been an hour. Man. Okay, so let me.
How many more do you have left?
I'm trying to figure out where the other black. Did I use the 2 black? So the rest are red. It's red for sanding. Okay. String. I have 2 more after this. I can do it.
What time do you think July?
I don't know. I'm not keeping count. Why? What do you need? Okay. We put the lid on that, put them back. Actually, give me 3 beads out, please. And then put it back. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Got a string that ain't going through.
Is this gonna be, are these beads gonna be one of your options at
At the ornament bar, I did put raw beads in there in case people wanted to paint them a different color. Like the hippo ornament, I had painted a pink bead to put on it.
Do you not have pink beads?
Oh, I don't have pink beads.
That's what you should get.
Okay, not at the top. You're distracting me. Alright. Whoa, whoa. I'm trying to get ahead of myself. I'm not even getting my knot tied.
Pink beads for life.
Okay, we're on to the tag. Whoa, whoa. Before, once I'm getting all of them assembled, I'll show you each one of them a little closer just so you can either, if you need to screenshot them or you want to see them, or I'm also going to share a finished photo like I always do. If you are not doing yours tonight, or if you are and I'm going too fast, because I've been told I do things too fast. I'm just used to fast-paced getting orders done. I don't realize sometimes that I leave people in the dust. Okay, there's that tag, a little blue. Clamp. There's a little reindeer. He's cute. Okay, we're moving on to Sandy.
It looks weird with the clamp on
It does look weird with the clamp on it, but it helps. Those little clamps are from Harbor Freight, and I have used those. I have used them
like since the
in like for 6 years now, fairly often. So they have been well worth their. Well,
Do you need dogs for me? Like, do you need any more dog?
didn't like the way that was lined up, so I redid it. You have like a little tiny window of redoing it before it's down for good. Okay. Yes, especially with this glue. So this is kind of gonna, you're gonna have to kind of line up his beard with it to see how far up or down it needs to be. So I have an idea of where I want it. When you put the beard on, you want it, oh, hold on, I'll just show you. You want just a little bit of his nose peeking through, not the whole thing. Let me make sure it's glued down and then I'll hold it up to show you. See how just his top of his nose is peeking up? So just a little tiny bit. And then you're gonna lay the brim. Careful not to move the beard. Lay the brim on top of there. My thing's not wanting to stay. I have to hold it there for a minute. Okay, and then the little circle on the end of his hat. Don't knock my thing trying to get through there. You can go behind me. Just go behind me. Dad just did. Don't be afraid. Alright. Get the little ball in the end. Try to make sure I got the right way. Okay. And I hope I'm not missing anything. It's hard to like make sure that I'll go back to if I'm missing any questions by any chance, but and if you're watching this on the replay and you have questions, I'll go back to and check on them at another time too. So I'm always here to answer questions. Okay, red bow. I'm struggling. Behind me.
Your thing's like behind.
Huh?
Your thing's like way behind.
Yeah. Live videos
Like that
are
was the first time I walked by it this morning.
live videos are always delayed. If you got a string that won't go through the bead, cut the end off, make a fresh end, and then it usually goes through.
I thought it was live though.
It is live. It's still delayed.
Really?
I don't know why. Man, I was cutting it close on this string. Okay. Gotta get a little ho 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 tag. See, through the top. Through the cut the strings. Glue the tag.
I just watched you run by there. It was like,
It just now played?
yeah.
Wow. Alright, clamp. Here's Sandy.
You're just hitting with the clamp.
Sandy with the clamp. Okay, last one. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I was gonna say.
And then this thing's gonna, like Buddy Duff is, Dan's like, I know him. It's gonna be singing with the clamp.
Sandy with the clamp. I'm so thirsty tonight. Man. Can't get enough water. Okay. My things keep moving on me and I do not his nose sticks way off, which is kind of weird.
It's just now showing the ornament. The Santa Claus.
It's okay. Okay, his scarf needs something. I think I'm gonna go put polka dots on it after I glue it down. Okay, so here he is with all his stuff on him. He needs something on his scarf. It's kind of boring. You know, it'd be cute is to do a little. I don't know if I can do it, but I'll try. Like a little plaid pattern.
Plaid?
Yeah, like. Here goes nothing.
Oh, wait,
Worst-
Mama, don't do it. Don't
Worst
do it.
case scenario.
What? That's the worst case scenario.
I think it looks fine. I did a crisscross. I think it looks fine. Okay, red bow.
Comment down below if you like the plaid.
This isn't YouTube. Alright. Last one. These bows. They're a little tricky. You know, if I was to do these again, I think I would have left all the tags off of them. I just think. So I'm gonna show you guys with and without the tags, so you can make your choice before you do yours.
I like the tags because it like gives something in the background, not just plain.
Okay, well, I'm gonna show you a little both ways. So here's without a tag, and here is with a tag. So your choice on that. I can see it adds a little something at the top, but I also like the clean look, and I also think it would be cute if you glued the bow a little lower, like on the thicker part of the ornament, and then just didn't have it here. But then you'd have to worry about it coming off if the glue didn't hold it. So this is obviously a more sturdy way to have your bow on, but I think it'd be cute either way. Okay, I'm going to show you each one. Oh, I forgot. Hold on. Let me put the tag on, and then I'll show you each one, and then I'll let y'all go. And then I'll dismiss you. Let them all go, like I'm a teacher. Alright. Here's this.
I wish my teacher did that.
Let you all go.
Especially the math teacher.
That's not nice. All your math teachers in this group.
Nuh-uh.
Just kidding.
I don't care. She can see this.
Alright.
It's just because it like lasts, it feels like forever. Like I like math, but it just like feels like forever.
Yeah.
But we do the same things every day. I love the smell.
Okay. I'm going to show you each one.
It smells like the nail salon.
You get stuff out of the way here. Okay. Tree one.
Tree one?
Tree. Mrs. Claus. Snowflake. Mr. Reindeer. Sanny. Oh, hold on. This little bow's crooked. There we go. Sanny. And the snowman. What do y'all think? Think they're cute? Alright guys, tomorrow I will share a finished photo for those that just like the picture or wasn't able to join, or you joined and you want to see when you do yours later. So a picture will go in the group tomorrow. If you have any questions when you watch the replay or later on or as you're doing your project, you can always drop them here and I'll come back and check on them. other than that, have a good night, guys. Thanks for those that hopped on with me. Have a good night.